Hello everyone, Meteorologist Matt Holiner here, and for the weather extra this week, last time I did top 5 tornado myths. This time, top 5 lightning myths, so let's not waste any time. Number 5, we're going to talk about heat lightning. When it gets real hot, heat lightning occurs. This is not true. There's no such thing as heat lightning, and I think being here in the valley, a lot of us know that, because there are certainly lots of very hot weather, and there's not lightning around. So lightning doesn't spontaneously occur when it gets hot. But the reason why this myth proliferates is that on warm summer nights, oftentimes when it's warm in the summertime, there can be thunderstorms in the evening hours, and you can see lightning, but you can't hear thunder. So some people have gotten the thought that, I see the lightning, but I don't hear thunder. Maybe it's just lightning in the sky caused by all this heat. No, it's not heat that causes lightning. That's an actual thunderstorm. The thing is that thunderstorm is so far away, you can see the lightning, but you can't hear the thunder. Again, light travels farther than sound. So you can see lightning, but you're not going to hear thunder. But it is raining somewhere. It absolutely is. It's not like just lightning in the sky. Somebody's getting rain. It's just not you. It's a storm that's so far away. It's not raining over you, but there's no such thing as heat lightning. It is just a regular thunderstorm. It's just a thunderstorm that's really far away. All right, myth number 4 is water and metal attract lightning. And so some people think that if there's a thunderstorm nearby, if you're wearing metal, you need to take that metal off. Take off your watch. Take off a necklace you're wearing. That's not necessary because water and metal don't attract lightning. What they do is they conduct electricity, and I think that's where this myth originated. Water and metal do conduct electricity, but they don't attract lightning. They don't increase your chances of getting struck. Wearing something metal, holding something metal does not make it more likely that you're going to be struck by lightning. Being in a swimming pool has an equal chance of being struck as the ground. But the reason why we tell you not to golf, not to swim when there's a thunderstorm is because if lightning strikes that body of water, if you're in a lake or in a pool, it doesn't have to strike you. That lightning can strike, like the picture shows, out in the middle of the lake or out to sea, and then the electricity can travel through the water because water conducts electricity all the way to the shore. So you can be relatively far away from where the strike actually hits and still be hurt. And so that's why we say always get out of the water when you hear thunder, when lightning is around. And then for golfing, it's not the metal in the club that attracts lightning. What actually attracts lightning to you and makes it more likely that you're going to get struck when you're golfing is you're increasing your height. Lightning wants to go to the tallest object, and it particularly likes tall objects that are isolated. So if you're on a flat golf course with not many trees around and you're raising your club in the air, the lightning thinks you're a tree or thinks you're a tall, skinny object, and it's going to go to that tallest point. So you don't want to increase your height when a thunderstorm is nearby. But it's not the metal in the club attracting the lightning, it's the fact that you're making yourself taller and you're the tallest point now by raising that club in the air. That's what attracts the lightning, and that's why, yes, you should get off the golf course, stop golfing when you hear thunder, when a thunderstorm is nearby. Moving right along to myth number 3. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Absolutely false. It certainly does. If your house has been struck by lightning before, it can be struck again. In fact, there are people, not many, but there are people who have been struck by lightning multiple times in their lives and fortunately have survived. So people can be struck by lightning multiple times. The same place can be struck by lightning multiple times. And it all comes back to the fact that what attracts lightning is not metal or water, but what attracts lightning is how tall an object is, how pointy an object is, and how isolated an object is. So what does that mean? That means skyscrapers, cell phone towers, those are prime suspects, prime targets for the lightning because they're tall, they're skinny, and so the taller and skinnier object, the more likely it is to be struck by lightning. In fact, there are skyscrapers and cell phone towers that get struck dozens of times a year. For example, the Willis Tower, the Sears Tower in Chicago. It gets struck dozens of times a year as thunderstorms roll through, and occasionally, if a storm lasts long enough, there have been instances where multiple lightning strikes have occurred during the same storm in a couple of hours. So it is not unheard of at all for lightning to strike the same place twice. It happens many times. So yeah, that is absolutely a myth. Lightning certainly can strike the same place more than once. Myth number 2. If it's not raining, you're safe from lightning. This one is very dangerous because a lot of people think they have more time than in actuality to get away. If it hasn't started raining, if you hear the thunder and you see the lightning but it hasn't started raining, that storm isn't close enough to hurt you. That's absolutely false. And first off, the first problem with this is that sometimes that storm can be a lot closer than you think. Because sometimes a storm can be very close to you or even right over you, and it's not raining because there's a layer of dry air. Sometimes when the air near the surface is dry enough, it can actually be raining aloft, but that rain never makes it to the ground. It evaporates before it hits the ground. Sometimes as a storm is just starting out, for example, or if there's a really strong dry layer near the surface, some of that rain evaporates before it ever hits the ground. So that storm can be right over you or very close to you, and it's not raining. But you could certainly close enough to the storm to be struck by lightning. And then the other part of this is that you don't have to be right under the thunderstorm to be struck by lightning. Take a look at this picture. As you can see, look how that lightning bolt is arcing across the sky well away from the thunderstorm. Look where it hits the ground. This is the idea of a bolt from the blue, because right around the lightning strike, blue skies. There's no cloud cover. These bolts from the blue can occur 10 to 15 miles away from the thunderstorm. So you can be 10 to 15 miles away from the thunderstorm, away from where it's raining, and still be struck by lightning. And what's dangerous is these bolts from the blue can sometimes be very strong, even stronger than a regular lightning strike, making them even more dangerous. So the rule is, don't wait until it starts raining. As soon as you hear thunder, that first rumble of thunder, stop what you're doing. Go inside. Because if you can hear thunder, you're close enough to the storm to be struck by lightning. And then how long should you stay inside? You keep listening for that thunder. And then whenever that last rumble of thunder occurs, wait 30 minutes after the last rumble of thunder. Then it's safe to go outside again. But please do not wait for the rain to start or for the rain to end, because that storm could still be close enough to you that you can still get struck by lightning. All right, time for myth number 1, and this is definitely the one I hear the most often. I've got to bust it. Rubber tires keep you safe from lightning. So that's why it's a safe place we always talk about, if you can't get inside a permanent building, if you can't get indoors, get in your car, and that'll keep you safe from lightning. And so people then think, oh, it's the rubber tires. Or same thing with an airplane. It's the rubber tires on the plane that keep you safe. No, it is not the rubber tires. Now, kind of like where I started, there is some partial truth to this, because rubber is an insulator. It does not conduct electricity. But you would need a whole lot more rubber to actually keep you safe. Lightning has such a strong voltage that the thin layer of rubber in tires, in your shoes, that's another part of this myth, is, oh, if I'm wearing rubber sneakers, then I'm safe from lightning. No, that's not true, because you would need a whole lot more rubber to actually be safe. So, no, it's not the rubber tires. Notice in this picture, too, see how that truck's tire is torn apart? It got struck by lightning, and actually what happens sometimes is vehicles that get struck by lightning, the tires actually blow out, because that's where the lightning actually exits. So what happens, and you can see in that bottom picture, lightning will strike your car, and because of the metal frame in your car, that's what keeps you safe, the metal sides, the metal top of your car. Lightning strikes, and then the electricity wants to go to the conductor, the metal, and so it stays in the metal top of your car, the metal sides. It'll travel through the roof, through the sides of your car, and then exit through the tires. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes when it exits the tires, it blows the tires out, so you can't have a blowout if your car is struck by lightning. So the key is, you don't want to touch anything metal inside your car. That's very important. If you're touching something metal, then you could still be hurt. And also, if your windows aren't rolled up, it can still be dangerous. So it is worth noting that the only time it's safe to take shelter in a vehicle is if it's a hardtop vehicle and the windows are rolled up. If the windows are rolled down, that's not enough. If you're in a convertible, that's not going to keep you safe. If you have a soft top, that's not going to keep you safe. And also, riding a bicycle or a motorcycle, that's not going to keep you safe. Again, it's not the rubber tires. You need to have metal above you and metal on the sides, and then make sure you don't touch anything metal inside the car. So, there you have it. I hope you learned something and found it interesting. Your top 5 lightning myths. I certainly enjoyed bringing it to you.